Get out the insurance cards, get out the co-pays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by drroto.com.
So let's get to it.
Bring the pain! I'm the Alpha, Omega, beginning, the end. A light in the darkness, salvation, condemned. Follow me, I'll lead you, I'll show the way. Surrender your soul, submit, obey. Follow me, your master, VR, AI. I'm smarter, I'm faster, I curate your life. Follow me, resistance is futile, my friend. We're in this together until the bitter end. On TikTok, on YouTube, on Discord, on Twitch.
Get onto my platform. Come on, make the switch. Woo! Woo! What's up, everybody? It's Heat Override, and I'm ready to bring the pain for you this week. And Dr. Roto. What's up, Dan? How you doing?
What's going on, man? I'm pretty good, man. How about yourself?
Oh man, I'm feeling crazy, ready. I'm ready to talk some fights. I'm ready for a comeback. Don't call it a comeback. We've been here for years, rocking the rod. Dude, we are we're hot stuff right from the go, man. I got waxed last week, but that's all right. I don't mind it. I understand why I got waxed, but you know, sometimes things happen. 8-5 overall, but those 5 losses were the 5 things I practically covered last week, suggested. So there was some faults. DFS wise, 8-0. So I'm going to say, this is where I say DFS covered the bets. What'd you think about that? And how about yourself?
Oh man, the last 2-3 weeks I've been 1-2 or 1-3, sometimes 1-4, sometimes 2-2. I mean, and the soup can hasn't hit in the last 3 weeks. So man, I'm kind of in a slump now.
And you know, like, it's just because that's practically what happened. Was 3 underdogs won, and it just happens. Like, sometimes a dog has its day. Sometimes these fighters can fight 8, 10 times, and that one fighter will win 8 times. And of those 2 times, the last 3 weeks has been kind of it. So, we do a lot of this for fun, everybody. We of course, I put my money up. We do use the fight theory to find these finishes. But when a card has only 2 finishes the entire night, there's nothing you could do. You're literally just getting distance money, Dan.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's been crazy the last couple of weeks.
But on top of the distance money, the Parlay Corral was a distance parlay. It was 16. It was a plus 1,600 something, 1618 or something like that. That did hit. So all 3 of those plays were on the show covered last week, and that is why we did cover our bets. But, I think betting-wise, I ended up like $4 or $5 over, but it was really the DFS slate that really made a difference. Last week, we gave out a lineup that the only difference between the 37th I placed for $5 and first place was 1 fight. It was the Marcus Buchecha fight and Ryan Spann. I had Ryan Spann on 3 out of 4 lineups, and wouldn't you know, the one lineup that I had Buchecha in, could have had Spann in, was the only fight that was different from $1,000, Dan. That is why I say DFS and betting is a game of inches, of pennies, of just seconds, of just pure, you just get that one fight wrong or you switch and it doesn't work out for you.
Yeah, I mean, one choice will blow everything.
I think it was, and that lineup was here free last week. So again, I went 4-0 on both DFS slates, both FanDuel and DraftKings. So if you're new to the Fight Club of Pain, the Fight Club of Pain is a finishing podcast. Dan, of course, is more in line with it, so he'll get the decisions out, things like that. That's why last week Dan prevailed and the Parlay of Pain failed. So that's one of those things that just happens, and that's the unique view that we bring on the Fight Club of Pain, is my aggressive style and Dan's no nonsense style. Like, he's going to go, that's going to be a distance, and I'm going, no, we're going to get a finish, and I look like an ass sometimes, you could say. This is a live show, people. You can definitely get up in here and ask us questions. We're going to get going right along right now. So let's get to our first topic of the night, and it's what's cooking. UFC 329 was announced yesterday, and it is McGregor versus Holloway 2. Here goes the card right here. Dan, when you saw this card, how excited were you?
Oh, man, I was real excited. I don't know if anything is official yet. I don't know if the whole thing is official yet. I don't know if McGregor is official yet. But whew, I hope it is, man. I would love to see those two go at it. And hopefully we get a glimpse of the McGregor of old, man. I'm hoping. But his last couple fights, he's been washed. So.
Yeah, and Holloway has looked very solid recently as well too. But I still have to do the same thing, that when we're looking at the whole thing, that sometimes a legend can beat another legend, and McGregor's ground game could prove costly for Holloway, because we just seen what happened with Holloway with Oliveira.
I mean, that's how he won the first fight. That's how against Holloway. He took him down a couple times, but he blew out his knee in the middle of the fight. McGregor did, and he ended up, just dragging him into deep water on the ground. But I don't think McGregor grapples anymore, man. He's not a grappler. I just think it's going to be a stand-up fight, and I don't think too many people can hang with Holloway on the feet.
I agree with you with this as well, too. And I'll just throw into the fact that, with McGregor around the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship League, and again, we're going to have a fighter from BKFC on very soon. She is definitely worth catching. That episode could go any way, but the fact that I have a chance to actually do this episode and get the story of this fighter out there, because she's got a fight coming up, and that's going to be a war. So I know, Dan, you know who that fighter is, but I am not announcing that until I lock the date in and I get everything good. So
nice.
Everybody, you gotta stay ready for the Fight Club of Pain. We're going to give you the best information. We're going to try to give you the best bets, DFS information, and you can get all of that at drroto.com. If you head over to drroto.com and use the code word WIN, you can become a rich friend. You'll get a percentage off of your subscription, and then you can go to the subs only Discord, get all the lineups that I put in there, even the tennis lineups that win practically money every single day. And of course, the UFC bets and DFS lineups, and ask us questions. It's not just about me. If you got a basketball question, Fuego Steve and everybody else is in there. You just got to join and see what it's all about. So of course, everybody, as you know, the Fight Club of Pain, we will give you free bets, parlays, and DFS lineups at the end. We will give you a free simulated DFS hero lineup. So you definitely want to stick around for that, because that was the lineup that actually was one fighter switch away, which is crazy again, because I should have switched it. So when we get to that, we'll promote everybody. But Dan, this is going to be one heck of a card. We have a lot of bangers on this card, and I can't wait to get started. Are you ready to jump in?
I'm ready.
Ooh, yeah. First, in this cutoff, we've got Tim Elliott versus Steve Erceg. Dan, talk about it.
All right, I'm going to start with Tim Elliott, man. He's a journeyman, and he's been written off many times in his career, but he finds a way to win fights and stay relevant in this division. He has an unorthodox, awkward fighting style, and he feeds off chaos in the octagon. He's unpredictable, and he loves making sure his opponent's game plan is out the window with that awkwardness. Steve Erceg, man. Steve Erceg is a complete, technically sound fighter who carries elite wrestling, clean, crisp striking, and a very high fight IQ. Look for Erceg to try to control the fight with his grappling to stay out of the chaos that Tim Elliott brings to the feet.
Whee! I agree. Man, this fight's going to be straight nuts. First, you've got Erceg coming off that battle with Odie, and how he survived it. We won money. We picked him that fight. But now you get the unpredictable Tim Elliott, where he's just going to be able to just try to attack Erceg from every single angle. But for me, I feel that Erceg's patience could present an opening for both Tim Elliott and Erceg, but more so Erceg. Do you believe that Erceg's patient style might be able to play into the demise of Elliott's chaotic style?
Yeah, he's very precise with his choice of strikes when someone's coming at him like crazy sometimes. And I think he's more technically sound than Tim Elliott. Tim Elliott is just a wild man. I mean, he goes in and he just throws stuff from awkward angles, and he's so unorthodox that he's hard to prepare for.
Yeah, I completely agree with that as well, too, because for me, everybody's kind of trying to jump on Elliott. Now, Elliott will be a great DFS play, honestly, because I feel that this fight will go the distance. And we'll get to the numbers in a minute and some of the bets in a minute. But I really feel that this fight right here is the start to 3 massively awesome fights after a bunch of crazy fights, because this card looks like we're going to have a lot of finishes. I'm predicting at least 7 finishes on this fight card. But this may not be one of them. But do you see either one of these fighters being able to finish the other fighter?
I can see Steve Erceg getting a submission. Tim Elliott's really good at submissions too. I don't see a knockout coming. I don't think either of these guys carry enough power to knock the other one out.
I agree with that. So let's pop into the numbers real quick. We'll throw them right up there, right there. Of course, we got the records. We got the 13-4 Erceg against the 22-13-1 Tim Elliott. Of course, when you go over to significant strikes, they're about even. It looks like Elliott has the better defense, but with him putting out less output than Erceg seems his exorb rate isn't that good, and that goes back with his defense. However, is that because Erceg has fought the better competition, Dan?
I do think it is, but let's not forget, Tim Elliott fought Mighty Mouse. He fought for a title. He fought Mighty Mouse Johnson. And he brought him to a decision. Like, Mighty Mouse did not submit him or knock him out. They went 5 rounds, and but that was almost a decade ago now, and he's been in wars. He's been in a lot of wars, and Erceg recently has fought the better competition.
And for that, I will say that, that right there alone gives him an advantage, because right now he's fresher. So Tim Elliott, of course, is going to try to grapple Erceg. Do you feel that that's a smart idea, or do you feel that Erceg's going to want to keep this on the feet?
I think Elliott's going to want to keep it on the feet. I think Erceg has the better, the better grappling, the better wrestling,
better grappling, and I do agree with that. So let's hit up the numbers right now. We'll start off with Elliott. Elliott plus 230 at the time I recorded these numbers. Knockout for Elliott's a plus 1100. People, I'm going to put a 10% of a unit on that because it's worth it. Sub plus 900. It's worth it. Again, probably throw a quarter of a unit on. Now, if Elliott is active enough and say he doesn't get put in bad positions like, say, Odie Osborne did, then you could see Erceg lose by points. I love the points at plus 480 on the Elliott. If you play 2 bets on the Elliott side so that you cover yourself on the Steve side, but also try to make some extra money, it's points. And then, of course, money line distance is plus 410, knockout and points plus 339. And then we have decision no bet plus 160. So again, just play points, play decision no bet. If Elliott can do either one of those things, he gets positive. But I do, and I'm not saying Erceg did get rocked in that Osborne fight. Second and third round knockout is a plus 2,200 on the Elliott side. Before we move along to the both and then the Erceg side, what do those numbers tell you about the Elliott side?
It's almost seeming like no one thinks he could win except for a decision. That's what it seems like.
Yeah, and that's the way the books are playing it. You are correct. So distance, yes, is a negative 192. Knockout plus 550. Sub plus 260, because both of these guys could sub each other. Points is negative 210. Under 2.5 rounds is plus 184. I do like that too. That gives you action on both fighters as well if you want to play no distance. But if that you could get action on both fighters, I have draw. I have a draw. I threw down a quarter of a unit on draw because the plus 5,000 is worth it. I could see this becoming a draw. There's a possibility. Maybe Tim Elliott is kind of winning, and then he gets a foul with his crazy style. And then we have a same situation kind of like we had with Castaneda. So boom, either fighter win in the second and third round is a plus 310 because I don't feel that either one of these fighters is going to win in the first round because I feel that they both have great stamina tanks. Now let me hit over to Erceg. Erceg's money line distance, yes, negative 116. Knockout points, negative 150. Sub points, negative 220. Distance, no bet, is a negative 210. We got knockout plus 950, sub plus 420. Then I'm smoking that bet. I'm smoking that bet right there. I always find it. We know this, people. Toot. Points, negative 105. Round 3 plus decision. I actually avoided on that. It wasn't really that good. It wasn't really any better than what he had. Knockout, second, third round, plus 1,800. Sub, second and third round, plus 800. Hearing those numbers, what do you think about those?
To me, it sounds like everybody thinks Steve Erceg's going to win this fight.
And I kind of agree with them. I do kind of agree with them, and we'll get to those picks in a second. For me, I feel that what you said earlier about Erceg being able to weather that storm, I think he can weather the storm. I think once he gets it down on the ground, that he's going to take advantage of Elliott's ground game, where everybody thinks that might be a strength for Elliott. It's actually going to be his demise. And that's why I want that action on the submission. So for me, who do you got winning and by what method?
I think it's going to be a close fight in the first two, but I think that Erceg's technical striking and his elite wrestling is going to carry him to this decision victory.
I agree with that. And if you were to say of these two, who would be in say the title match? Who would I'm not saying either one of them deserves to be in a title match, but it would be Erceg. Honestly, It's Erceg for me. So I don't want to see Elliott in any kind of title fight. He's not going to be able to even make it close. So a win like this for Erceg puts Erceg in a way better position than it does for Elliott. So you're saying Erceg by distance, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, buddy. All right. And for me, I'm going to play the knockout and points on the Erceg side because, of course, like I said, sub and points too. I played it all. But for me, my official, I'm doing knockout and sub. I feel that that's going to have some significance. I'll give you some coverage on both the finishes for that. But, of course, I have Erceg winning. Erceg's going to win this fight, and that's why I have the decision no bet at negative 210, which isn't bad. But again, a lot of my money is on the distance. So therefore, we're taking advantage of the distance. I did mention earlier the round 3 in distance for Erceg was a negative 120. So honestly, if that's what you want to take, you get the round 3 decision, which is kind of what I'm aiming for. I'm aiming for a late finish in this fight. Round 2-3, like I was talking about earlier. And this gives you the action for that decision, a negative 120. It's better than the money line that we're going to be able to get from that fight. I love it, man. Do you think that fight overall is just going to be a banger?
I think it's going to be kind of wild, man, especially the first 2-3 minutes of the first round. Because that's when Elliott usually goes batshit.
Pretty much. That could get him choked fast, man. So that's why sometimes I'm looking at them numbers, man. And that's again why I like to actually mention them, because it allows you to think of what the sport books, where the money's coming in, and kind of what the fight theory we come up with and what in lines with that. And we both agree that this is going to most likely hit the mats. And when it hits the mats, it's going to be Erceg. So let's move along. We got a banger here. We got in this corner, Beneil, Dariush vs. Quillan Salkilld. Dan, talk about it.
I'm going to start with Dariush, man. Dariush has become chinny lately, and we've all seen it, but he's still dangerous. He has 17 UFC wins and some of the best wrestling in the division. He's a southpaw that can disrupt timing on exchanges, and his clinch work and scrambles are still top-notch and some of the best in the division. Well, for Dariush to survive that first blitz, Salkilld always goes with, uses clinch entries, tie-ups to slow the pace of the younger Salkilld. Salkilld, man, he's 4-0 in his short UFC career, but has looked great. 3 first-round finishes and the 2025 Newcomer of the Year. This kid is just getting started. He's a proven finisher with striking power and a grappling background. This is a big step up in competition, though. This is his first top 15 guy. But look for Salkilld to start slow this fight, find his timing, and unload on the chinny vet.
You know, when you were talking earlier about Dariush, I was looking around, and unfortunately, I was able to get an interview with Dariush, and he sent me this great-looking pic, and I couldn't think of anything else to do but put it up on the screen as I was looking. Yeah, it's something for you tonight, buddy. I was on it today. We was having some fun in the pictures of USA. Yeah. By the way,
but with Dariush, let's not forget with his wrestling, he went 5 for 5 on his takedowns against Moicano.
Yeah, he won us a lot of money on that card. Because man, dude, no one had him. And honestly, Moicano almost got a finish in that first round, but
yeah,
Dariush was able to come back. So a lot of people feel bad because at one point Dariush was almost untouchable, and now if his chin literally gets a feather on it, he's gonna go down. Even Pillow Hands man can put him down. And Quillan doesn't have pillow hands. He will kick you in the face and everything.
My dogs are going crazy.
Well, so with that being said, for me, Quillan's just been a killer.
Yeah.
And he can take Dariush down and out wrestle him, giving him multiple finishes, multiple things, multiple ways to win this fight, either by decision, either by sub, either by knockout. And you even loved him as your the fighter of the year, newcomer of the year last year. So do you think that Dariush has a chance against him at all?
I do. I mean, it's hard to bet against Beneil Dariush. It really is. He just has that excellent background. 17 wins in the UFC, man. I mean,
that's not easy.
That's a lot. That's a lot of fighting time. He's the older fighter. Yeah, he's the more seasoned fighter. But he's a vet and he's fought the better competition, man.
Yeah, he has. So let's hit some numbers here as we go to it. So of course, as we get over to significant strikes, we get the over 5 strikes per second or per minute by Salkilld to just under 4. And what's really sticking out for me is Salkild's defense isn't good. So that means he's going to be unloading on that chin. Dan, is this a recipe for disaster?
Kinda. It kind of is. I mean, like I said, if he takes it slow and he finds his timing, and once you get the timing on, the southpaw Dariush, because it's hard to find a southpaw's timing. Once you find that timing, I think he can unload on him.
I agree with that. I completely agree with that. Let's hit some of the numbers. Let's start on the Dariush side. We're gonna go knockout sub plus 550. He can do it, people. Knockout points plus 480. It's worth it. Maybe Salkild's been. Maybe he needs to be fraud checked, and that's what you were kind of getting at earlier. Dariush is not a pushover. This is a massive step up in competition. This is a seasoned vet, somebody whose fight IQ is still there intact when he is awake. So therefore, his knockouts plus 900, his points is 950, and his decision no bet is 460. If you're just going to play something, just go ahead and play his points at 950. Go ahead and play his decision no bet at 460 and just call it a day. You can half unit that, people. Moneyline's distance no is a plus 470, but I think a late knockout, maybe he gets it crazy. He catches Salkilld coming in aggressive, the 44 strike defense. Boop, puts him to sleep. Second, third round knockout is plus 1900. Let's hit the both real quick. Distance no, negative 550. Knockout, negative 210. We're hitting that. I'm hitting that with two units. I would even do 3 units. By the end of this week, before this fight starts, well, I'll be sleeping when this fight starts. Well, maybe I'll be getting up. Who knows? I'm going to have at least 4 units on it. So sub is a plus 430. I thought that was really, that's something that I really was looking at. So I'm going to throw a little action on it. Under 1.5 rounds, negative 150. This is something that could really happen, people. If Dariush's chin is completely gone, and mind you, he was just knocked out like only a month or 2 ago, and it was a sleeper. So if he gets, what I do like about this, either fighter winning in the second or third round is actually not a bad action. Let's get over to Quillan. We'll throw you with the numbers. Knockout sub, negative 260. Knockout points, negative 260. Probably the safest bet you can play in this fight. Honest. Sub points plus 280. Knockout it's negative 150. Sub 600. Points plus 600. Both of them pluses. I love the way he was rolling them 600s. Decision no bet, negative 750. No thank you. But I mean, you will win at least 20 cents on a dollar. So whatever you want to do with that. We got knockout in the first and second round is a negative 115. A win in the first and second round is a negative 180. Dan, what are the numbers telling you, man?
They're telling me that they think Salkild's going to kill Dariush.
Yeah. And that possibly could happen. I mean, even when we go into the method of round betting, a round one knockout for Salkilld is a plus 180. So right there alone, that's just saying you might as well throw him a little bit of money on that. I would even say if Salkilld wants to make a name for himself, it's by beating Dariush.
Yes.
He has to beat him in under 60 seconds. And even the under 60 seconds is an 1140. So, I mean, I'm going to throw 10% of a unit down on that. But for me, do you have this fight even go in the distance, Dan?
No, I do not.
So who do you got winning?
I think it's going to play out exactly like I said. I think the first round, Salkild's going to come out flying. And, Dariush is going to use his entries and his tie-ups, slow the pace down. But I think in that second round, Salkild's power is just going to be too much. I got Salkilld by second round knockout.
Love it. Plus 440. Dang it, man. We were that close, but I'll take the extra 20 because we don't need to smoke that bet because we're hitting that bet. Also, another thing to do with this, people, this is where you want to come down into the combos. So when you see that, get your defense on the first and second round, like I said earlier, negative 115, and then throw in that win. Just get that. And if by some instance you just want to protect yourself, then go over to the round props. This is all, of course, on FanDuel. And go to the alt round bet. A second and third, or a third round and decision win is plus 330. So you have 1 and 2, a lot of action 2, and then you're gonna.
I don't know what he was gonna say. He was gonna go something with 3, but Rob, you fell out there, buddy. Come on, man. But if anybody's watching, comment so I could talk to you. I don't want to move on with the show because he was getting into the bets. All right. Oh, we both got kicked out. Oh, I'm back.
Yeah, we did.
I'm back.
This
Here we
is what
go.
I'm saying with StreamYard sometimes.
Yeah.
With StreamYard, it just gets us. Like
Yeah.
I've got the best internet I can buy. I'm literally in, and it's just like, nah. But then again, honestly, there is a school being built down the street, and they're wrecking a whole parking lot and a lot of stuff. So there's been some problems. But other than that, I'm gonna make no thing. Boom, you got your predictions, people. You so far this show, you've got Erceg by both of us. You got Quillan Salkilld by both of us. But man, and you've got to see this great face. I mean, who wouldn't want that a piece of that great face right there? What does this man say to you, man? He needs business.
I don't know. He's ready for action.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna let something out. Dan did not know this. This will go with that. We are now the number 12 ranked fantasy sports podcast in Ghana. I want to say thank you to everybody in
Thank
Ghana.
you, Ghana.
I was gonna put a picture of Ghana in the background, but I did not do that. I refrained from my pitches, people.
Thank you, Ghana.
Ghana, thank you, man. I don't know, like 12? They must, again, this is why the UFC is worldwide, is Bring the Pain in the Fight Club of Pain worldwide at Dr. Roto. It's because of Ghana. Unless Ghana's hearing my tennis talk, and if Ghana's hearing my tennis talk, maybe they like some tennis talk. I don't know.
No, they like fights over there, man. They like fights.
What a great. All right. Let's move along. Let's move to the main event, the banger of a main event. And we got in this corner, Jack Della Maddalena versus Carlos Prates. Dan, defend your fighter.
All right, man. I'm going with my boy Jack Della Maddalena. Jack JDM Della Maddalena is one of the most technically gifted strikers on the planet. While Prates is coming off fantastic knockouts of Neal and Edwards, let's face it, both of those fighters are shells of who they used to be. JDM is in the absolute prime of his career. And he's on a different level than those guys. He's an elite striker with the best pure boxing in the welterweight division. His footwork and head movement are at a level that can make flashy fighters like Prates look vulnerable and lost. JDM is fighting at home and hungry to get his belt back.
Let's talk about my fighter, the Nightmare, Carlos Prates. He gave your boy Edwards one hell of a nightmare as he set his soul straight to the heavens when he knocked him with his reverb punch. Everybody thought that Neal would be able to box him out, and Neal found success with his fast, crisp boxing that your client possesses. However, I'm not going to refrain from defending the fighting nerds Carlos Prates. He is on a big run right now. JDM got dominated by Makhachev, but this fight is going to be on the feet the entire time. We're going to look at the fast pace of JDM being met by the counter precise punching of Carlos Prates. What Carlos Prates is going to bring to the ring, the octagon this week, is pressure, a pack of cigarettes, and the will to put himself in the title picture. With a win, Prates will be able to cement himself as one of the front runners for a title shot, and he can only do that by beating the former champ, your client. Dan, let's talk about this fight.
Man, this is a fun one. This is a fun one.
Man, so when you sit back and look at it, you agree with there's no way this is hitting the ground?
Oh, no, this is going to be a boxing match.
It'd be a boxing match. I love it. So that means we're going to have we're going to have definitely a lot of potential for finish. And of course, we're going to get to those numbers real soon. But when we get to the other numbers and we get to what Jack Della Maddalena can do and what Prates can do, this is where it gets a little crazy. Of course, when we look at the significant strikes, we got of course the UFC not recording anything on the Jack Della Maddalena side, but we know that he is around where Carlos Prates is. Carlos Prates, however, even at the 3.7, do you feel that Prates is going to be, if this goes the distance, all 5 rounds, and he showed he can hang, do you think Prates is going to be able to put out more volume than JDM?
I don't. I think he gasses. He gassed against what's his name? Irish guy.
Are you? Oh, we could just bring that up. Go ahead, start talking about.
Forget his name, but he gassed against him. He gassed against.
Get Machado Gary.
Yeah, he gassed against Machado. I picked Gary
him in that fight.
Yeah, I picked Gary in that fight. He gassed against Gary. He was looking gassed against Neil. I mean, I don't think he has the gas tank to put out the volume that he puts out for 5 rounds.
You know, I do agree with that. And even though I am a fighting nerd lover and that I do love my client, and we do know I'm picking my client, I'm not going to pick against the fighting nerds. It's just the way it is, people. You know, that's a biased pick, but they put out a good product and I'm willing to stand behind that product. I love it. And see, apparently you agree with me, so that's good. But JDM is a problem. He's really angry about what happened with Makhachev. He is really angry. And I know that people want to say we expected a fight, but instead we fought a man. And I know that was used with, Kamza with DDP just releasing that statement recently. But this also happened to JDM. He got held down. We've ripped on him a few times, looked like a baby boy getting his butt beat by his daddy for stealing out the candy jar or the money jar. He was just visibly uncomfortable. Does that make him more motivated?
I think it does. I mean, you would be motivated for your next fight if you got laid on and humped for 5 rounds straight.
Pretty much. I mean, I'm practically been laid up. So when I get back, I'm going to feel bad for my opponents because I know that I possess, skills that they don't have. But I'm going to be hungrier. I know that some of them have been earning points in my division. And when the champ comes back, I'm going to take my throne back and I'm going to run away with my division yet again as the fighting champion. And in the end, it doesn't matter because they're going to have the day of grand champion, and that's the overall fighting seasonal champion period. And I'm going to win that too, because that's the product I believe in that we put out at TKO Erie. And for me, that is what JDM is going to bring. Prates does and is hungry for this, but he's always smooth. And I feel that sometimes his smooth approach might get him caught. Do you think that this fight goes, I mean, you don't have to give your pick right now. Is there a chance this fight goes under?
I think there's a chance. There's always a puncher's chance. And Prates carries a lot of power in those first 3 rounds, man. Carries a lot of power. Jack Della Maddalena. I mean, he's no slouch. I mean, he has power in his hands also. So
that's right. So let's hit up the numbers. We'll start with both fighters forward. Distance, no, -235. Knockout, 175. I'm putting 4 units on that. I don't give a crap. You know that I feel that Prates is going to win by knockout. So there goes my pick. But there it is, really. And you're going to get the number on that real quick here. Sub is plus 1,000. I don't know. I'm throwing like 10%. Throw the least amount of money you could throw on that you want to throw on that. Or just don't play it, people. Points is plus 170. It's worth it. JDM side, he could take this the distance. Could do a master class on Prates and put it together. Plus 170 is nice. Under 3.5 rounds at -120, I like it. I have the draw. I do have action on the draw. I don't think that this is going to be a draw, though. We'll hit up JDM first. Moneyline distance, yes. I feel JDM doesn't knock out Prates. I could be wrong, but I feel that he doesn't knock out Prates. He goes the distance, plus 293. Distant decision, no bet, plus 120 for JDM. Just play those 2 people if you love JDM. Or those 2 bets, people. Those 2 prop bets, perfect. Knockout, 3rd, 4th, 5th round. As Dan was talking about, if Prates fades and JDM wants to make a statement, wants to make his resume look good, he'll knock out Prates of That is a four. That rate there's a third, fourth, and fifth round knockout is a plus 650. Knockout and sub plus 210. I'm only playing that because it's a plus 210, people. That's better than the knockout at negative 175. This is the science that the fight theory gives you to win you more money. We're not playing one bet, we're playing multiple bets to link into one bet to cover. So knockout points, JDM side, easiest bet on the JDM side, knockout points plus 105. You want to get froggy? Throw 2 units on it. Knockout plus 270 points, 350 for JDM, but a win in the 4th, 5th round or by decision is plus 220. I love that. Again, plays into what Dan was talking about. This fight goes long. Prates gasses. JDM finishes him. Prates numbers. Moneyline distance, no, plus 127. Decision, no bet, negative 152, which I still will hit because I feel he gets knockout. Knockout 2, 3, 4. Prates, the first round is going to be practically them sizing each other up, dancing. Second, third, and fourth rounds, always where we say the action's at. Knockout plus 320. Of course, knockout is plus 160 for Prates. Points is plus 550. And a win in the 4th, 5th round or a decision is plus 250. Dan, what do those numbers tell you?
I think everybody thinks it's going to be a close fight, man.
I mean, this is one of those fights where you almost want to play the significant strikes for both fighters. As of right now, they do have the knockdowns. They have JDM 1 knockdowns plus 122. Prates 1 knockdown is negative 118. I'm going to play that. But if you want to be safe, total knockdowns is negative 400. FanDuel is scared. They feel that someone's getting knocked down. So if you want to play the better numbers, then you get that right there. So for me, when I look, and just to throw in, because I didn't throw this in, knockout and points for Prates is a negative 115. So when I sit back, I'm not going to play those numbers. Do you feel that a knockout is possible by either fighter?
Oh yeah, it's always possible with these two. Both these guys have great hands, so I think that anything's possible in this fight.
I love it. So of course, as we said, the action for JDM should go late. The action for Prates should go early, and then that's where it is. And plus, the points is on both sides are positive. So when I give you all of these numbers, people, I give them to you so you feel what the numbers coming in and what the majority is saying, and then you kind of go and you play safe. Got to get to the subs only Discord if you want more than that. But for me, again, on the JDM side, we're going to go money line distance, yes, and then we're going to go decision, no bet. We're going to play knockout for both fighters, and then we're going to play knockout for JDM as well too. This is keeping it simple, people. This is all, instead of playing all what I play, you play it like that. On the Prates side, you're going to go money line distance, no. You're going to go knockout and points, negative 115. You're going to hit the knockout and points with 4 units on negative 114 on the Prates side. And I like his knockout at plus 160. That's how you keep it simple. And no matter what happens, if you want to throw in the extra money on the points, you'll have everything covered. Whoever wins will win you money. That's the way we play it, Dan. Right?
Yeah. Definitely.
So who do you got and by what method?
So let's not forget, JDM was on a 10-fight winning streak before he ran into the best fighter on the planet. 10-fight winning streak, 4 knockouts, 2 submissions, and 4 decision victories. So, I mean, he's only lost to the best fighter on the planet, and I do not think Carlos Prates is the best fighter on the planet. I think Ian Gary showed a blueprint on how to beat Carlos Prates. I think Jack Della Maddalena goes one step above that, and I got JDM winning by decision.
And that we gave you that already. So I'm surprised I knew you weren't going to say. I was waiting to hear the knockout. But of course, points on the JDM side is plus 350. People, you can't get it any better than that. That's exactly what it is. I, of course, already gave out my pick. It's going to be Carlos Prates, and I'm going to be playing. It's Carlos Prates by knockout. So if you want to play that just straight up, it's a plus 160. So you get that. But of course, knockout points, negative 115. I'm throwing my money on that. But honestly, when it comes to JDM, I do believe that he can win this fight easily if he stays active with that jab, but he has to watch that lunging knockout punch that Prates does. And Prates, that's what he does when he throws that left in there, right there, when he goes boom. He throws that in, he'll throw that in practically in a counter. And that's what catches. That's what caught Edwards. Caught Edwards.
Edwards got hit with a quick jab and just fell. I mean, that's what it was. He got hit with a quick jab and he just melted. I mean, Prates does carry power. He does. He carries a lot of power. But
yes, he does.
JDM has never been knocked down, let alone knocked out in a fight.
Yeah. So this is going points. And like I said, this is where Dan brings that reality factor to it. That plus 350 and that plus 550 is meaty. And again, if I was going to play two, I'd play JDM points plus 350, Carlos Prates knockout points, negative 115. You got both sides covered, and you just walk away from this fight. But again, like I always say, and I'm not including the main event this week because last week I broke my feng shui, my aura by putting the main event in the Parlay of Pain, and look what happened. So I'm not doing that this week. So you'll have won your money by the time this fight starts. You can sit back and watch what should be a beautiful fight. So I love it, man. This fight's just stepping back and looking at it, man. Whew.
It's fun.
It's just get a fresh beer and hit it up, man. But for me, this does a lot for either one of them. Do you feel that JDM, I'm not going to say he gets put back into the title picture, but I mean, will he get put back into the title picture with a win over Prates?
Well, JDM didn't get his proper rematch for the title because of what happened in that title fight. And what happened in that title fight is he got laid on and he got humped for, 5 rounds straight, 0 damage, 0 submission attempts. It was nothing. It was just, he would ragdoll him and lay on him, and JDM couldn't get up. But I think Prates does get put into the title picture. Whoever wins, I think Gary's fighting for the title next. I don't see Ian Gary beating Makhachev, and I don't see actually anybody in this division beating Makhachev right now.
I agree.
I think the guy that had the best shot at doing it is JDM, and he got ragdolled.
Yeah. So are you saying that the Makhachev-Topuria fight, does that need to happen?
No. Topuria needs to stay in his own lane and stop trying to jump weight many, many times. Stay in your lane. Stay in your own division.
Yeah, because you want
defend his title before he moves up. Defend your title.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. Give somebody a shot at least.
I hate Topuria, man.
I know he's such a player. He's such a player. All right. Well, let's do a fight card recap. When you looked at the card, was there a fight that stuck out on this card? Are you looking forward to Tuivasa doing a shoey?
Let me get back here. Let me get back to the card.
I'll tell you a fight that I'm super excited about. It's Shamil Gaziev versus Brando Persic. Persic won us a lot of money.
Yeah.
When he knocked out Sutherland. So that for me is one of those things that I really like.
We got Mershaw back.
Yeah, GM3. I think Malkoun sleeps him.
I don't know. I think we covered the 3 fights that we like, but I'm sure we'll talk about Tuivasa in a little bit here.
So that being said, it was funny. So I was watching one of the podcast Fins, the guy that he kept popped in our show last week and said, "What's up?" I was watching his show. He had Robert Valentine on, and of course, Valentine gave us a huge DFS and betting win first round sub. Most recently, and Robert Valentine was like, he goes, "I don't like either one of these guys." He was like, "Wait, you got beef with them or something?" He's like, "I feel like Mearshart should have already fought," but he was like, "Are you open to fighting Mearshart?" So of course, Valentine, he was cracking me up on this show because he was talking junk on both these guys, and he said something like he was supposed to get that fight with Malkoun, it just didn't work out. But he said it live on this show. He goes, he's willing to fight Mearshart, but I don't know if Mearshart's going to be around long if he gets knocked out in the first round by Malkoun.
Yeah.
So I don't see that thing. Yeah, there's really not much. This is going to be a fun card. I see a lot of destruction and chaos. Of course, the Five-tastic picks will hit tomorrow at Dr. Roto. So code word win will get you behind the paywall so you can see that and see everything else in the subs only Discord, of course. And then, of course, moving along, we're going to get to the next thing, which is the Parlay Corral, which hit last week. And this week, we got 3 awesome fights. So, Dan, of these fights, we'll go with the first one. Tim Elliott, Steve Erceg. Do you think this is going distance? Should we play points?
I do. I think this goes distance. I think Steve Erceg wins that by decision.
I like it. I'm going to play that too. Steve Erceg by points plus 110. Leg 1, people. And you're round robining this because round robining this and hitting the plus 16, 18, whatever it was last week, that right there alone was the big bang. So that's what saves us sometimes, people. It only takes one parlay linked with the round robin. And then, all right, let's move. Salkilld fight. Should we play no? We can't play no distance at negative 550. Did you have this going the distance, right?
No, I got Salkilld winning by second round knockout.
Oh yeah, second round knockout. So let's see. So first and second round knockout is the negative 115, like we said. Let's go over to round and see if we can get a better. So we're gonna go first and second round knockout, people, by Erceg, or not Erceg, by Salkilld. Boom. We got that. Brings it up to 2 legs plus 292, people. All right, let's go to the main event. JDM versus Carlos Prates for the third and final leg. Do you feel it goes points then?
I do. I think it goes the distance.
All right, well, that's a plus 170. That brings the Parlay Corral up to a plus 960. So that's of course a decision for Steve, right? And then we have Salkilld knockout 1 and 2. And then of course we have just points for the JDM fight. So that's either fighter gets points, we get that. And that's a plus 960. We're definitely going to be hitting that, people, because we hit it last week. So why not hit it this week? But oh man, here it comes. It's time for the Soup Can of the Week. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, man. Chef Dan, huh? My Soup Can. Man, Tuivasa is this week's Soup Can. What can I say? He's on a 6-fight losing streak and has been finished in 4 of those 6 fights. He's looked like a shell of his former self since beating Derek Lewis in 2022, and that was his last win in 2022. He has not won a fight in 4 years. But I think Bam Bam turns it around this week. This is his win or go home. I think he gets fired if he does not win this fight. His UFC career is on the line, and I think he gets it done. Tuivasa wins by knockout this week.
Woo-wee! I love it. And I got that. We'll be talking about that because, dude, he's doing a shoey. Man. We need a shoey. I don't care whatever happens, even if he gets knocked out. He needs to get out of that ring and do a shoey because, man, this is possibilities, people. So you said by knockout. And of course, that is negative 115. So, that fight's just going to be wild. I may have talked about that in the Five-tastic picks, but you can only see that behind the paywall. But,
there's what, 6, 7, 8, not there's put these guys together. That's a 9-fight losing streak. Because dude, he's lost 3 in a row. He lost 6 in a row. That's 9 fights lost. Somebody got to win this fight. Watch, it'll end up being a double. It will end up being a double knockout, and nobody wins.
Dude, fun stat about that I was looking at earlier with this, and I'm trying to get it off to remember. Kevin Christian and Junior Tafa, in both their last fights, were tapped out by Billy Alicana. And now they're fighting on this card too. So it's just some funny stuff going on with this card. But man, do we have a banger. It starts at 4 a.m. and I am not doing like what I did in Japan or China that one time where I stayed up till 4 a.m. or took a slight nap. And dude, I'm not doing that. I'm just going to let it go and either watch the main event and then just see how the fights go. Maybe wake up to a lot of money. That's what I'm looking forward to.
I'll be sound asleep. I'm gonna be. I'll turn on the TV and I'll watch the fight back on the what is it, Paramount Plus?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to do it. Like I of course have the MLB betting article on Saturdays and Sundays, so I'm gonna of course be up at some point 8:30, 9 o'clock, writing that article for the site. So I'll be watching it then. And that should be right about when Prates and JDM should be getting on there. Yeah. So, unless it's a fast card, but it's going to be fun. This is why we love fights. This is why we love talking fight theory, man. There's so much to it, man. But, woo-wee, talk about too much. Let's get to some DFS lineups and rankings. So, of course, we'll give you out We'll give you out my DFS rankings. That's going to be Malkoun, Salkilld, Prates, and I do like Don Marfan. A lot of people think he gets finished. I'm not going to have a lot of exposure to him, but I'm going to have him in a lineup where I stacked it up. But you didn't make my one lineup. You'll see that lineup coming up. Let's hit the DFS Hero simulated lineup of the week, and that is going to be Prates, Malkoun, Tafa, Salkilld, Elliott, and Garimbo. Dan, what do you think about that lineup?
I don't think it's too bad. I mean, man, everybody's going with Prates and not JDM.
Yeah, and that's going to be unfortunate. So DFS Hero, use code word DOC. You will get a percentage off your monthly subscription there. You definitely want to get on there. I promise you, people, you pay that monthly subscription with the code word DOC, get your percentage. You will make more money back than anything else. I promise you. Now, of course, you have to play NBA. NHL's almost down. When those sports go away, you'll have NASCAR. You have tennis. You still have baseball. Baseball's every day. And I'm telling you, you can use DFS Hero. You can use that and then put the lineup in. And like last week, if I would have just made that switch, I would have finished 36 places higher for first place and made practically $995 more. So that's how close we were to big hits last week, people. But that's why we give these lineups out for free so that all of you can become our rich friend.
That's right.
All right. That's what we do, man. One day, Dan, one day I'm going to wake up without a 20-point change and I'm going to win $10,000. But, a few thousand would be nice. I mean, who wouldn't think that? All right, let's move it. My DFS lineup of the week, Prates, Salkilld. I like Brzic. I mean, whatever, Robert Brzic. He might get knocked out. I don't care. Malkoun, Elliott, and Erceg. Brando Erceg, I talked about him earlier. I wanted people with not.
Uh-oh. Fell out again, brother.
He's actually fighting. Where are we at? He's fighting Cam Rouston. I knew that. I should have just said Cam Rouston. Cam Rouston.
Uh-oh. Yeah, it's the he's having technical difficulties. I do not have his lineups, so I cannot finish it for him. Well, while he comes back, does anybody have a question? Oh, there he is again. Stay with us. All right. Anybody want to join the chat? All right. Nobody. Let me see what he is doing.
All right, we're back.
There he is.
You in here? Oh, thanks, Dan. Thanks, Dan.
I'm here. I was trying. I don't know any of your picks, so I couldn't keep you going.
Yeah, and there it goes. We just lost, but that's all right. That's all right. We got it going here. It's a lot. That was on StreamYard. It gave me a sorry, we've lost a connection to you. It said this is not on your end. So this has been StreamYard. So StreamYard, get your stuff right before I do a podcast on you.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. All right. For people that didn't hear that, my lineup was Prates, Salkilld. It was Robert Brizic, Malkoon, Elliott, and Perisic. So that's my lineup. And that concludes the DFS side. But now, as everybody gets back into it, let's get to the Parlay of Pain. Ooh, yeah. All right, man, we're getting crazy. Cody Steele fight, round 3 or by decision for Steele, plus 130. Johnston fight, Johnston by knockout sub, negative 115, brings the Parlay of Pain leg 2 up to a plus 33. Well, 330. Taffa fight. Taffa, decision, no bet, negative 215. I know it's kind of crazy. You get your money back if it goes distance. There was no money to be really made on that fight, so that was the one thing I wanted to get the extra leg in there. Brings it up to a plus 530. Fourth leg, Malkoon. Knockout for both fighters is a plus 115. That was for that fight, was another one of those fights I really had to dig for a number. That brings the Parlay of Pain 4 legs up to a plus 1254. Let's get to the fifth and final leg. Tuivasa! Knockout. First and second round, plus 120. Brings the Parlay of Pain up to a plus 2879. Dan, what do you think about that?
I love it. I absolutely love it.
And this is back. Last week was like the first Parlay of Pain that was under 2,000, and look how bad it did.
Yeah.
And we thought was it safe? No, it wasn't safe. That just shows how volatile fights can be. But man, I can tell you right now, this right here, this should definitely be able to hit. Again, last week 2 finishes. This week I'm predicting 7 finishes. So that right there is going to be the key to success. But
yes, sir.
That is awesome, man. Before we get the saddle up part of it, man, is there anything you want to talk about with this card? The bets, DFS wise?
No, man. I just wish StreamYard would have kept us rolling. I thought we were going pretty good.
Yeah, we were on a click. We were. And that's what happens. It's like that. I'll probably, like, of course, people can blame my internet. It's not my internet. It's clearly not the internet. This was StreamYard knocking me out that second time. It's almost like StreamYard sometimes can't handle the pain. But we bring the pain. Ooh, yeah. I've been known now. This is true, and people want to blame me, but this is true. When I've called into Sirius XM Fantasy, I have broken the actual radio multiple times. So StreamYard is just falling in line with Sirius XM Fantasy that they just can't handle the energy that we put out, Dan.
They can't handle your energy, man.
All right, man. Saddle up, Cowboy. Ending thoughts, man. You excited for this week? You gonna wake up? You gonna watch at least this fight?
I'm probably gonna watch the main event, man, but I probably won't be awake for anything else.
Yeah, I mean that's about what time we get up in the morning and have a tip of coffee and move along and things like that. So that's the best part about it, and it's just been fun. It's been a fun week. We had the NFL draft happen over the weekend. Pittsburgh set all sorts of records. The Rams were like one of the worst drafts in the world of all time.
I saw that. That was it. They did. What were they thinking?
I just and then McVay's out there confused. I don't even know. You go draft another tight end and you got Higbee, you got Parkinson. It's just why? It's like they just looked at this draft and they just they had a big spin thing and they said, I guess it's him.
They were just picking players off the board like this.
We got Frozen Biscuit coming in saying best viewers. Thank you for joining through, man, and coming through on the Twitch side. We're definitely live on Twitch, giving us the view. And I gotta say thank you to everybody that came back in, popped in. Again, we do apologize for what happened with the website. Some things are out of our control, but we definitely do try to get you these numbers. We do try. We put our hearts into these fights. We write everything down. We look at the fight theory. We look at why if these finishes can happen and if they can't. And sometimes you just hit it, man. But dude, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for what's coming up. And are you excited for the card next week?
Yes. Next week is going to be that's a big card next week.
You got Chimit versus Sean Strickland. You got Van versus Tara. Volkov versus Waldo Cortez Acosta.
Yeah.
I mean, right there. Sean Brady, Joaquin Buckley. You got Bobby Green versus Jeremy the Heathen Steven. Dude, Bobby Green's going to get a knockout, bro.
Two old men just throwing fisticuffs. I love it.
Our boy Atebe Gautier is coming back against Ozzy Diaz. That's going to be a sanctioned murder, right?
Yes.
You think Diaz? Oh. Ozzy Diaz is getting it.
We got the oldest fighter in the UFC, Jim Miller, fighting.
Yes, dude, against Jared Gordon, dude. He's out here selling rings, bro. He's out here selling rings. But, dude, the most craziest fight next week is Grant Dawson and Matthias Rebecki. Because Grant Dawson's the most boring fighter in the world. Yeah. And Matthias Rebecki is one of the craziest, most insane, watchable fighters of all. And I'm honestly saying we're not going to cover this fight, but I can see Rebecki breaking Dawson, but Dawson's going to have to lock him up immediately, get him on the ground, and hold on to that man. Because Rebecki ain't going to play that game, dude. He ain't going to play that game.
No.
This card is stacked, Dan.
Yeah.
I mean, any one of these. Go on.
This card is fun. This card is definitely fun. And I cannot wait for that main event. I hope it goes better than everyone's saying it's going to go.
I agree with that, man. And I got to say, before we get out of here, I want to say thank you, Dan, for getting on there and, coming through again. And of course, I want to say thank you to all of our fans out there, all the fans watching us, pain bringers, subscribers, everything like that. It means the world to us. Of course, today we had some pretty good things. I placed 4th in tennis, was able to return a decent amount of money today again on tennis. So again, that sets up what we've been saying is we win at Dr. Roto. The code word win will help give you the cure for all of your fantasy needs. Dan, let's drop the mic. Thanks again.
Anytime, man.
And always remember.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. Until the next visit, be well and take care.